Hey everyone, how's everybody doing? I hope you guys can see me. We're going to fire up Power Wash Simulator. And let's get into this. We'll throw the chat over here. Come on over. It's gotten stuck. All right. Okay, so I hope that the sound is okay. When somebody gets on, please let me know. Let's see. I would like to have up on my screen this thing so that I can see. Okay, very nice. So welcome to Sunday. I'm starting a little bit earlier today, as I didn't have as many issues with Lego this morning as I did last week. So, can I hear that? I'm not sure I'm getting sound. Let's do something, we'll start off with something easy. Okay, I'm getting sound. It's just really quiet. Okay. All right, let's go into the dirt bike. We'll start off with a nice easy vehicle level. There's got to be something up with my dirt bike. You see, I'm one of life's winners. Every morning I put 4 slices of bread in the toaster, but only eat the slice that pops up first. When I have coffee, I only drink the bit that wins the race to my mouth. But on this bike, I always finish dead last. I'm wondering if there's mud stuck to the manifest or whatever it is, slowing me down. I'm also kind of superstitious, so I haven't cleaned the thing in over 15 years. Thanks. We're going to make $75. And all the details. And what's up? Do you do bikes? I could do with someone running their thing over my deadbeat dirt bike. That's the message we got from the previous thing. So let's load it in. So I don't know what we're going to talk about today. I don't really want to talk about the games again, at least not too much. I might say a couple words here and there about how things went this week, but we talked about them last week. I don't think there's a need to do it again. So if you guys have some other thing you want to talk about, let me know. Okay, first of all, we have, let's go to, my shop. I was curious as to how to get to my my customization, but I don't see it right off the top of my head. That's fine. Yeah. Options. Oh, this is just options. Okay, whatever. We'll figure it out later. I'll figure it out at some point. Excuse me. All right, here we got a dirt bike. So let's get to it. Something nice and easy to start off with. We'll get a little warm-up going on here. So 20%. Oh, that was quick. More handlebars. Go, that's done. Something occurred to me this week that I thought I might talk about a little bit. I think, I have no proof of this, but I think I might have the most, what we're heading for, the most complete collection of God of War games anywhere, with one blemish. I should qualify a little bit. There is one blemish to that. Now you may think to yourself, that's quite the claim. You're gonna have to show your work on that one, and I agree. You can't make a claim like that without some kind of evidence. But let's talk about what I've got on my channel. So I play all these games to 100% completion. I do not do trophies necessarily because trophies just don't interest me all that much. I'll do them if they're reasonable, but if they're not, I'd ignore them. So, I mean, you may think, okay, well, you don't do the trophies, then how can you have the most? Well, let's talk about it. So 100% completion, and let's talk about the games that I have done. So, of course, I did God of War, the original, 20, whatever it was, 2008? I don't remember. God of War 1, God of War 2, and God of War 3 are all 100%ed on my channel. Then I've also done all the side games. So that's going to be Ghost of Sparta, Chains of Olympus, and Ascension, right? We just get a message? No. Okay. So, okay, you're thinking to yourself, that's fine. That's all the games to 100%, all 6 of the games. A lot of channels have done that, right? I'm probably not the only one, I'm sure. So what else you got? Well, I also have done God of War Betrayal on my channel to 100%. That's a little handheld game that not many people have done. So, okay, you're thinking to yourself, that's not bad. That probably puts you up in the top 10%, but still doesn't get you to most complete God of War series on the YouTubes. What are we missing here? The seat. What's up with the seat? Well, sure, but I also have on my channel the coup de grace, so to speak. God of War Call of the Wilds. That was a little Facebook game that only existed for a few months. It doesn't exist anymore. You can't play it now. But I have it on my channel to 100% completion. I don't think there's many YouTubers that can say that. Not very commonly on YouTube. I think I've seen it in a couple of places, but I have it to 100%. So that, I think, makes my channel the most complete, one of the most complete God of War repositories on the internet, I think. Now, there is a blemish. If you don't, consider the trophies, which I don't. But there is a blemish, and that blemish is God of War Ascension. That goddamn game. Unfortunately, I got all the way to the end of that game, and the Trial of Archimedes beat me. I did not complete the Trial of Archimedes. So yeah, that's the blemish on my completion of God of War. One of these days I got to go back to it and try and redo it and get that done. Especially given what's left here. Especially given that if I do that, I think I'm in pretty good shape as far as that goes. Oh, there you go. Spoke set. There you go. What else we got? Brake disc. Something in here. I keep seeing it pop in. Sprocket. Sprocket. There you go. Okay, we got the fuel tank. So that's the fuel tank up here. Where's the fuel tank? Should be up here. It's right under the seat, right? The exhaust. So yeah, I think I did pretty well with God of War. Of course, I'm still working on God of War Ragnarok, obviously. So that's still in progress. Okay, my understanding of the fuel tank in on motorcycles, it's right under the seat. There's this. There you go. And the radiator. There's the radiator. I didn't know motorcycles had radiators. Wait, I think I just caught it. There it is. There we go. Nice. Job complete. Okay. Let's take a look. Clean as an egg. You're a legend. Nothing can stop me now. So details, all clean. Messages, that's pretty much all. We didn't get any messages for that one. That's fine. Okay. Very cool. Very cool. Let's close that. How do I go back? Okay, go back to career. Okay, there you go. So we've got two options now. Clean the bungalow or clean the playground. Let's do the bungalow. Hey Doc, you know I mentioned my folks. Well, I think it's time their bungalow met your pressure washer. It's so filthy it's hard to tell where the ground ends and the house begins. When I mentioned it to Ma, her eyes lit up. Pops moaned and said, the browner the porch, the warmer the torch. Which clearly means nothing, so he's overruled. You can give the place a good cleanup if you can give the place a good cleanup. I'm sure it'd give them both a lift. Thanks again, Cal. All right, $550 we're gonna get for this one. Let's do it. Let me just look at Okay. That's a little odd. Because I do not see... Okay, there we go. It's the did it say that on the screen? I don't remember seeing it on the screen. Let's change our thing to black. Change our gloves to black. Change some clothing. Hey, we got a trophy. Equip a new... What does that say? Who knows? I missed it. Something about equipping a new outfit. Okay, cool. Well, this is a mess. Check this out. So we got a stool, we got a ladder, we got a soccer ball. Very cool. Oh, that's right. We got a new nozzle. This one. Dolores Miller, I'm so glad you're here. Calvin's such a good boy. He's a volcanologist, you know. So this particular nozzle is good for getting into cracks and crannies and stuff. It spins around. It's kind of similar to this one, except this is just kind of flat in. This would have been good for that couch that we had to do last time. So yeah. But anyway, we're mostly going to stick to the yellow one. There you go. Our first little section clean. 1%. Doing well. So the games went pretty well this weekend. I had a bit of trouble with the Saboteur yesterday, in that there's a bug in that game that was never fixed. It's a pretty major bug. So at one point you get a perk for Super RDX, which is a type of explosive. So at some point during the game you get the RDX, which is kind of a, it's nice in that you can set it off whenever you want instead of, just lighting it like you do with the dynamite. But it's fairly weak Well, at one point you get a perk, which we got for Super RDX. And it turns out that that perk doesn't stick. So as soon as you exit the game, or if you die, you lose the Super RDX and it just reverts back to regular RDX. And I didn't know this. And it's a known bug. People have, people talk about it on the internet. I don't know if it's exclusive to the Steam version of that game or if it's if it's on consoles as well. Anyway, that's the sort of thing that Pandemic would have fixed had they still existed after the game came out. But yeah, you no longer have access to it after you turn off the game, and you can't get it back. It's permanently gone, which I did not know. And I was counting on the Super RDX for getting a particular perk, which was to kill 10 Nazis with a single blast of RDX or dynamite. And I was going to do it in a particular mission, so I knew the mission that I wanted to do it in. So I got to that mission this weekend, and I set it all up, not even realizing I didn't have the Super RDX, and I set it off, and it didn't kill the Nazis. All it did was knock them over. I mean, it killed some of them. I won't say it didn't kill any, but it knocked a bunch of Nazis over that I was expecting to die. It's a perfect setup for that thing. So, because there's a bunch of Nazis all standing around in a particular spot. And so I set up some RDX and set it off, and they didn't get the perk. I was like, what the hell? So I did it again. I thought, well, maybe I screwed up. So I did it again, and the same thing happened. And so I started putting out more and more RDX to try to get these Nazis killed, like 10 Nazis killed. I set out at one point something, I don't think I set out all 16, but I set out like 13 right at the feet of as many Nazis as I could get, and I still didn't get it. It still just knocked them down. It didn't kill them. Some of them died. I'm not going to say none of them died, but not 10. And I did this for about an hour and a half, trying to get that perk to pop. Couldn't do it. And it's supposed to be super, super easy. According to everybody on the internet, if you have Super RDX, all you have to do is put down like 1 or 2, and it'll get all 10 of them easily, no problem. And so that's what I was counting on. That's what I was planning on doing. And yeah, as it turns out, without the Super RDX, it's pretty much impossible, at least in that mission. And pretty much any mission, really. If the RDX is just going to knock them down, even when it's basically at their feet, you're never going to be able to get that perk. So, what I did after I discovered what was going on, after I discovered that I just had RDX and I couldn't get Super RDX again, is I did the mission. I was like, well, screw it. I'm just going to do the mission. And I'm reminding you that this is about an hour and a half of trying to get this perk to go off. So at this point, I'm a little bit, I'm on my last nerve. I'm like, yeah. So yeah, I just did the mission, and then I went back to the base and I used the, purchase the gold level perk thing that they have. So they have one purchase of gold, one purchase of silver. I never used the silver, but I just went in and used the gold one because my feeling is that I did what I was supposed to do. If it wasn't for that bug in the game, I'd have totally gotten that perk. So it wasn't my fault. And so in that particular instance, I was okay with using that purchase thing. I didn't want to use the purchase thing because I don't like that kind of thing, but in that particular case, since there was a bug in the game and it was making it impossible for me to get that perk done, I went ahead and bought it. So now I have the perk that, it's not really even all that great of a perk. It's just, there's no knockdown from explosions. I mean, which is nice, but I didn't. I just went and bought it. In the end, I didn't see any way there was going to be a way to get that done. So it's a good thing I still had it. It's like, what if I had already used that purchase or something? That'd have been a bummer. So yeah, I mean, there's no way you're going to get it with dynamite, right? Because dynamite, you're on a time limit. You know, you don't have any control over when it goes off, and you need to set several. And if the RDX is not going to kill the Nazis, even when it's right up next to them, then there's no way. I mean, how are you going to get that? So I just went ahead and purchased it. I think all the rest of them, assuming there's no more major game-breaking bugs, should be all right. There's 4 perks left. I don't see why we shouldn't be able to get those. So yeah. So yeah, I had a little bit of trouble with that this weekend, but other than that, everything went fine. Even Lego went fine. I am having some issue with the ground assaults for the Separatists. Those are pretty difficult, I have to say. They are not easy. I'm failing them more often than I'm succeeding at them. I tried to do Coruscant. Couldn't quite manage it. Got close, but I couldn't quite get it off. So instead I just picked a random planet, got it on the first try. There was no problem. So obviously some of them are easier than others. There we go. So yeah. Other than that, the games went fine. Started to worry about Phoenix this morning a little bit. Immortals, Phoenix Rising. Because the beginning part of that, I was not doing particularly well. I kept failing what I was trying to do, and but I got back on track towards, you know, a few minutes in, and it went fine. Got at least one vault done. I think maybe just one. Oh yeah. It's a nice gray tile. Gray brick. Well, I hope everybody's having a good Sunday. Mine's doing okay. I'm going to be watching football later on. By football, I mean American football. I don't mean soccer. Or European version of football. Never really got into soccer. No reason. I just never have watched it. Other than, you know, when my daughters played. I was actually a coach for, I shouldn't say coach. I was the assistant coach for my daughter's soccer team. And I did it because, you know, the coach was like, well, if anybody wants, you know, on the very first day, if anybody wants to volunteer, and nobody was volunteering. It's like, dude, that's not cool. So I volunteered. I don't think I was particularly good at it, but, you know, I just did whatever the coach wanted me to do. So. It was fine. But I hardly know the rules of soccer. So. But we ran drills and stuff. It was all good. Anyway, yes, like I was saying, I'm going to be doing that. I have it set to record, but I don't think I should need it because I should be done well before then. I do have to edit. What am I editing today? Today would be Saboteur, right? I edit on Sundays. Usually do one edit a day. They take a couple hours to edit, and then an hour to review, assuming an hour video. What's up with this door frame? What do y'all mean the door frame? No, the door frame's done. Okay, never mind. What am I looking at? Who knows? Well, the front looks pretty good. I like it. Except for the driveway. Let's see, can we go with the bigger? Sure, why not? So, nobody asked questions in the comments, so I don't have anything to answer there. That's fine. You guys know everything there is to know about me. You want to hear about my job? I don't know. Maybe you guys are interested in that. The short answer as to what I do is I'm a chemist. And when I say chemist, I think in the UK and Europe maybe, when you say chemist, it can mean one of two things. It can mean the person who works in a lab, or it can mean the person who works at a pharmacy that dispenses medicine, right? I am the former kind. I'm the kind that works in a lab. Early on in my career, I did some programming stuff, which was fun to do, but I was kind of running my own thing, and then that kind of ended. I kind of ended it just in time, basically, and actually moved into doing what I got my degree for, which was chemistry. I've got degrees in biochemistry and molecular biology. I was actually planning on becoming a biologist when I got out of school. That was my goal. Ended up getting a job at a chemistry lab, and I've been there ever since. So, yeah, the short answer is I'm a chemist, but it's actually not as accurate as all that. That's what I tell people when they ask, what do you do? Because that's just easy. Because what I actually do is very complicated, and it's hard to explain. I used to be a bench chemist, so I worked for 13 years in the lab, and then I got bored with that. And it didn't help that I had what can only be described as kind of a poor boss. And just decided at one point that I needed to get out from underneath this boss that was nice guy. He was a really, really nice guy personally, but if you had to work for him, he was just a bear to work for. So yeah, but it wasn't just that I had a bad boss, and I don't know, I shouldn't say he's a bad boss, but he was difficult to work for. But I was also getting bored with what I was doing. You know, I'm the kind of person that will enjoy doing something until I stop learning anything more. Because that's what interests me, the new stuff. And you would think, well, chemistry, hey, that's, you know, you could learn from that forever. I had pretty much mastered what I was doing. There was nothing new that was going on there after, 13 years. And I tried to switch positions a little bit and move into more mass spec work. I was running the mass specs to some extent by that point in my career, but I kind of wanted to do it full time because that was the one place where I was doing new stuff that was really interesting to me. But my boss was resistant to that because he didn't want to lose me. I was basically his right-hand person, and he was not wanting to let me go. So I ultimately didn't give him a choice in the matter. I was like, if you're not going to let me do the mass spec thing, then I'm going to By the mass spec thing, I mean full-time mass spectrometry. Then I'm going to switch departments, which is what I did. Which, as it turns out, he ended up leaving the company anyway about 6 months later. So, if I had really wanted to do that, I could have if I had stuck it out another 6 months, but how was I to know? So, yeah. So, I don't know how much I can say about my job. It's very complicated. We submit studies to the EPA, and they have to be done under a series of regulations. And my job is to monitor to make sure we do them under those regulations. It's very complicated, and people don't understand what I do, which is fine. I saw some rust up there. Are you done? Okay. So yeah, I gotta say I do miss the programming sometimes. Sometimes I want to get back into it, but at this point I've gotten so out of the programming loop that it's like I look at C code now and I hardly recognize it. Or C++ code. I used to program in C++ mostly. Yeah, and I've dabbled in game development, doing my own independent stuff. My problem with game development is I'm not really interested in small games, and when you're an indie, that's what you have to do. Like I want to do games that it would take a team of 50 people 3 years to do, and I want to do it by myself. It's not realistic, right? So when I try to do games, they're always, I like big games. That's what I like. I don't really. It's not that I don't like playing small games, but I'm not interested in programming a small game. And I don't really want to work for another company. That's just that's a recipe for instability. I have friends who went in, or I have a friend who used to work in that industry. And he was constantly getting laid off, and so he actually switched industries to something different. Still programming, but more of a business kind of thing. And he's been there for years. So I think he's been there for years. I think I might have heard that he changed jobs recently. But yeah, I don't need that kind of instability in my life. I need a stable income. That's why I stopped doing the programming thing in the first place. But I still dabble with Unreal Engine sometimes, just to goof around with it. So yeah, but nothing serious. So yeah, that's my job. I'm the manager of my department at work. It's a small department. It's the smallest department there, so don't be too impressed. But I am the manager. So I have people. I have had to fire people before. That's always rough. I hate having to do it, but sometimes it's necessary. I've had people who just don't get the work that I'm trying to get them to do. Just don't understand it. They just don't get it. And it's not that they're not intelligent or anything, but some people just don't get QA stuff. They just don't get it. That's my official position, that I'm the QA manager. Stands for quality assurance, but that doesn't really mean anything because everybody means something different by quality assurance. It's like what most people mean when they say quality assurance is quality control in our world, which is to make sure the numbers are right. My job is not to make sure the numbers are right. Although I'll do some of that now and again, but my job is to make sure the regulations have been followed, so that when the studies get to the EPA, they are compliant. There you go, that wall's done. Compliant with the regulations. So that's what I do. So for the first 20 years I worked there, the person who ended up becoming my wife also worked there. That's where we met. Does that work? She ended up becoming the general manager, which is basically the boss of that building. He was the boss of everybody in that building except for my department. Hang on. This is somebody's chatting and I can't see it. Just a second. I made this too big. Gotta shrink it down a little. Hey, Alex. Well, thank you very much, Alex. I appreciate that. So yeah, my wife was the general manager, which means she was the boss of everybody in that building other than the QA department. And the reason she wasn't the boss of the QA department was a regulatory thing. QA has to be independent. Hey, Evra, how you doing? That stupid, hang on. That stupid thing is not working right. Let me shorten this up again. Why did this get so long? Okay, there we go. Goodness gracious. Oh, you know what it was? Because I sized it on the other screen, which has a different resolution. Yeah, it was messed up. I've got it fixed now. I got to remember not to do that because I sized it on the other screen, which is a higher resolution, and when I pulled it over here, it was too long. That's why it happened. That happened. Okay, looks like it's working now. But hey, everyone, how you been? How you been, man? Haven't talked to you in forever. Hey, Tag. How you doing? So yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so yeah, between my wife being the general manager of the company and me being the QA manager of that building, we're basically the two most important people there. For a while, we ran the place, but of course, my wife got sick, and so there's a different general manager now. A very nice guy, and runs the place pretty well. So. I can't say too much because I'm not really allowed to talk about too much at work. I could get in trouble with HR for that, but I can say what I do. So that's not a big deal. Just going to break at work. You're at work. It's Sunday, man. Trophy hunting, huh? What are you trophy hunting, Ebra? In which games? Open every day other than Christmas. Oh, man. I could just not work a job where I'd have to work on the weekends. Well, I guess I could, but that would suck. I wouldn't want to do it. But look at this porch. It's a mess. I worked a very kind of, I wouldn't say 9 to 5. That's not what I work, but a very set schedule. Pretty much all my career since I got out of college, anyway. Which is nice. I know exactly when I'm supposed to be at work and when I'm not. Get out of hell, huh? Tag. Go play Get Out of Hell again. Do I still have that game? What did we play that on? Did we play that on Steam? Oh, we got a message. Calvin Miller. Ma keeps messaging me. They're getting really excited with how it's looking. Sounds like it's going great. Dead Island and the Naruto? I don't know those games. Dead Island. I played Dead Island a little bit. I don't think I finished it though. It's one of those games that I didn't finish. Let's see. Did we hold up? Let me check our messages. Did we get it? Okay, yeah, we've seen all these messages. Okay, cool. Let's make sure we didn't. We did PS4. I don't think I have my PS4 set up anymore. I think I took it down. Because I have a PS3 and a PS5 sitting here. I don't have any more space for another console. So I think I had to take it down. What are you playing it on, Ever? Are you playing on a PS4? Ah, so you could play it on PS5? Okay, cool. Probably not even that expensive at this point. There you go, Ever. We got your back. At least Tag does. Thing. Okay, there we go. Jeez. Pain in the butt. You guys and your trophies. I'm picking up all the trophies for Dragon Ball. That's because they don't involve any multiplayer trophies or anything that's you know, includes a difficulty level that I have to play at that I don't want to play at, or replaying the game. Those are like the 3 criteria, and that's why I pretty much don't do trophies. It's because it's always, not always, but most of the time, you have to do at least one of those 3 things, or more than one. And I'm just not going to do that. I'm not going to replay a game over again. I have too many games on my list that I want to get to play a game more than once. The only game I did that with was Batman, and I feel like that. I'm glad I did it, but towards the end, I think everyone was getting tired of that. I think we were well on our way to being completely done with that game. I was like, I'm over it. But I did get 240% in that game, so, you know. And I got the special 240% skin. So, that's more or less the reason I did it. Yeah, you guys enjoy those trophies. That's fine. No shade. I can, you know, I respect it. If you want to do it. Oh, look, there's like paw prints through here. That's a big old something. Jeez. I hate to see what made those prints. It's a cougar walking through here. So, I did actually see just this week some footage for Power Wash Simulator 2. Looks good. Maybe if I finish this game, we'll move on to Power Wash Simulator 2. You know, because doing chores in a video game is so much more fun than doing chores in real life. Like, I should be doing this, like, I'm no kidding. I need to do this in real life on my house. It's not as bad as this. I won't say it's as bad as this, but I've been working on the backyard. It's a big old construction project, and it's kind of a mess back there. I need to, like, clean off the sidewalk and stuff. And I do have a power wash contraption, which I should make sure it's still working. But yeah, I need to clean it up because it's a mess back there. Yeah, that's true, huh? Okay, what? Oh, yeah, there's all kinds of crap over here. Is this all part of the same thing? No, this is different. Why? Oh, I see it. Do they? I have no idea. I've never used a power washer before. A professional power washer. I have my own, so if I need to power wash something, I don't need to call somebody else to do it. All right, you damn porch post thingy. What's your... There we go. That had to do it. Oh dear. Hang on, I gotta get some distance. This thing gets a little bit janky when you get in too close like that. So yeah, I guess Power Wash Simulator is coming out at the end of the year. Power Wash Simulator 2, I should say. Who knew? I've often wondered how they do this. The only thing I can think of is that they've got a texture map, like a grime texture map, but it would have to be a writable texture map so that you could record where the clean bits are. And then they do a transparency kind of thing. I think that's how I would probably think about doing it if I were going to do this. But what do I know? My knowledge is probably way out of date at this point. But that's how I would probably approach it if it was me. Pre-order the deluxe edition for an exclusive bottle of cleaning chemicals. Sure. It seems like they made it so that soap in that game is much, much more important than it is in this game. In this game, I almost, well, insofar as I played anyway, I haven't played super far into this game, but I almost never used the soap. It just didn't seem necessary. But in that game, based on the video footage that I saw, it seems like it's pretty hard to clean without it. Let's see, how are we doing here? It's looking pretty good. We'll get this wall and then maybe do the rest of the porch. Grab all that. Why is this window not cleaning? There we go. So come to think of it, like the power wash thingy. Oh, wow, that was nice. The power wash thingy that I have has all these nozzles. And they're all colored like this, the yellow and green and white. Yeah, I have all those. I wonder if they're the same, like, you know, the same angle, the same sort of nozzle they are here. I wonder if that's like a standard thing in power wash industry, or if they're different. I'm going to check that out. I'd be interested to know if they are in fact the same as the game. Like I could know what I want to use based on this game. Okay. That's looking pretty spiffy, except for the porch. Let's do the porch. Yeah, you're probably right. It probably is a universal thing. They probably make them in a specific pattern. Hey. Okay, should we do the roof? Let's see. Let's go to a bigger nozzle. So, I think I mentioned this last week. I don't think I'm particularly close to finishing any of my games. I'm a week closer than I was last week. But I think they're going to go on for a little while. I don't think anything's like imminently coming to a close. Which is really kind of strange because having 5 games going at once, you think that something would be close. Like God of War is a third of the way through. Saboteur is probably 3/4 of the way through. But it's still got some weeks to go. Dragon Ball Z is 2/3. Immortals we just started. Star Wars is half. I mean, yeah, you know, it's going to be a while. Probably by the end of the year we'll start getting some stuff done. Okay, how's that looking? There's dirt on the lock. How dare you? There we go. Okay. I saw that. I feel like we're gonna have to go get that ladder. It is time. Head upstairs and do this porch. Not sure why that. I don't think this white nozzle's. Well, maybe it's useful. I don't know. I feel like it would leave behind stuff. Yeah, look at that. Useless. Some stuck-on stuff over here. This is so you see that volcano over there? This city's called Muckingham. I think that's right. And I think a lot of ash comes out of that volcano. That's where a lot of this is coming from. It used to be you could see the dirt what it was composed of. For some reason I don't see that, you know. I don't know why that is. Like it would tell you grime, mold, mud, that kind of thing. It might be a setting that I have turned off, perhaps. Oh, this roof is going to be difficult. I can't see what I'm doing, really. Let's see. I find this hard to control. So, hang on a second. Let me do this. You see how that one bit of grime there, it's kind of like moss, doesn't come off with this particular nozzle? How would you do that? Like, they maybe have multiple texture levels for each different kind of, like, dirt. Because you couldn't really do that, as far as I can think of, on a single texture. Texture's either going to have been written to or not. I wonder if they have multiple writable textures. Writable textures are supposed to be, or at least they used to be, quite expensive in terms of chewing up processing power. You know, because you're talking about some pixel bed that's pretty big. And then you got to write to all those pixels. It's pretty expensive. So you generally don't want to use them a whole lot. Maybe that's not what they're doing. I don't know. I don't know how they're doing it, but. Okay, apparently even Pops is out of his rocking chair now and having a look. Nice. Welcome to the 21st century. Yeah. My knowledge of how games are made is probably well out of date. I haven't really messed with that in a long time. I used to have a pretty good knowledge of it, but now, not so much. How's that? I always want to hit the wrong button for that. That's not bad. For the porch, anyway. The porch roof's still got something on it somewhere. Probably on the side. Hey! Cowboys! How you doing, man? Okay, I think the porch roof is good. So let's see how that looks. Oh, look at that. Sweet. Man, how you doing? You watching football today? Cowboys are playing, right? Or they're going to be playing? I don't know what time they play. My team does not play until 1 o'clock my time, which is several hours away. So And baseball season ends today. My stupid team did not make the playoffs. So baseball ends today. Today's the last game out of 162 games. If they win today, they will be exactly 81-81 on the season. So football all day today. Yeah. I find I used to go to my friend's house and watch, we would hang out and watch TV, and he has a different team than I do, so we would watch a couple of games. That's as much as I can do, is 2 at the most in a given day. That's a lot of time commitment. But we don't necessarily do that so much anymore because his team was the Raiders. And he got pissed when they moved. He's like, that's it, I'm out. It's like the second time they moved. They moved down to Los Angeles for a while. And then they came back, and he forgave them for that. But then they moved to... They moved to Nevada, Reno, or... Yeah. I'm cleaning houses. Leave me alone. So he got out of football because he couldn't deal with his team moving again. He thought it was disrespectful. He got into basketball, which, I mean, I like basketball okay, but it's just not my sport. I like either baseball or football. Yep. Wisconsin, huh? So not the is it the Packers? I'm trying to think. Wisconsin, Michigan, Packers. All right, you're gonna have to tell me which team is in Wisconsin. I know there's a team in Wisconsin. I can't remember who they are. Blanking on it. Uh-oh, the dog's going off. Molly, it's okay. It's okay. We have, you guys probably didn't hear it. Hey. Shh. It's okay. You guys probably didn't hear, but we have a car that goes by every once in a while, and they've got a dog in the car, and the dog likes to stick his head out the window and bark. So when my dog hears it, she gets her hackles up. She's fine now. She sounds aggressive when she hears dogs and stuff, but when she's actually around dogs, she's fine. I'm not really getting this, am I? Like, I can take her to she has to be groomed because she's one of those dogs that doesn't shed. So dogs like that have to be groomed. So when I take her to the groomers, there's lots of other dogs around, and she's fine around them. No problem. So if she hears a dog or sees one on TV, boy, she will go off. And you don't realize how many dogs there are on TV until you have a dog that will bark at them when they come on. They're just why won't this set? Okay, there we go. That's too close. Yeah, like there's just dogs constantly in commercials, just constantly. So, and she will go off. Green Bay Packers, that's the team I was trying to come up with, yeah. That's the team my uncle follows, because he's in Wisconsin. I don't know why I couldn't come up with that. I should know that. My next door neighbor has a dog. It'll bark at anything and everything. Makes it record sometimes. Yeah. I mean, that's the charm of an indie channel, right? The motorcycles going by and the dogs barking. Nothing wrong with that. We have motorcycles going by all the time. I try to cut them out of the recordings, but sometimes I can't get them all. Have I played the new Mafia game? No, not yet. Not yet. I will. Okay, take care, Tag. Have a good day at work. Yeah, I really want to do it. I've tried to stay away from any streams of it. I don't want to see any spoilers or anything like that. So I've seen like little snippets here and there, but nothing that would spoil anything. I mean, literally 1 minute videos just to check out the gameplay. Let's see. What do we got going on here? Oh, there's crap all over the window. Okay. Oh, yep. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I'll that's definitely on my list of games to play, and it's been bumped up the list quite a bit, so we will be playing that sometime in the future. Not quite sure when, because like I said, there's nothing on my list that's in any danger of completing anytime soon, but as soon as I have a slot open for it, I want to get that one. We shall see. I quite enjoyed all the Mafia games. All of them, even the third one. People say the third one they don't like. I thought it was pretty good. You know, I can understand why they say that. It is repetitive. So I do get it. I understand what they mean when they say, you know. But, you know, that's just the game loop, right? All games have a game loop. So, you know, any game can be called repetitive if you break it down to its basic functions, right? I don't know. Pretty good? Cool. It doesn't seem to be, well, I mean, I'm trying to stay away from it, so maybe it's getting more press than I think it is. I don't really see it a lot, though, for whatever reason, in media. I'm not sure if it's going under the radar or what the deal is. Or if it's just because I'm actively avoiding it. That could be. Not interested in new releases? Mafia Dying Light and such. Yeah. Well, you'll see Mafia on my channel if you are interested in watching it at some point. I have such a huge list of games that I want to get to. And of course, it takes me so long to get through a game because of the nature of my channel, and I only play for an hour. It's a little too bad because I can't get to as many games as I want to get to, but I can't do any more than I do already because it's already a lot. You know, I tried to do that Card Warriors game, which in theory should only have taken me about half an hour maybe per week to record, and then, you know, another hour to edit and what have you. It shouldn't have taken really all that long, but just adding that 6th game was killing me. It's one of the reasons I was like, okay, that's enough. We're not doing that anymore. This is no problem. I mean, this stream is no big deal because I don't have to edit this. We just do it. It goes up like it is. It's, you know, 2-hour stream, no big deal. Speaking of which, hang on. I'm just curious. How long have we been going for? I don't know. I can't see anything on the screen. Doesn't say. What the hell do you mean it doesn't say? I don't know. I guess it's going for as long as it's been going. Oh, okay, there it is. And about an hour, almost an hour and a half. Okay. One of these days I'll learn. I don't use OBS all that often. In fact, just when I'm streaming. So I'll use a different software to record stuff. Yeah, an hour a week is not much, but if you can watching multiple episodes. By the time the new episode drops, yeah. I know, right? You can guess how bad it is for me. Like, you know, as we all know, I have a crap memory. So playing once a week. But I have the advantage of, you know, having edited it. By the time you guys see a video, I've watched it 4 times. Between playing, editing, review, upload. I think it's a 4-time playthrough, or a 4-time watch through. So, you know, if I can't remember stuff that happened after I watched it 4 times, then I'm in real trouble. But yeah, even, I mean, you know, like even then, sometimes I have to remind myself, what did we do last week? Okay, let's try this. I don't like this. I can't control it. But yeah, that Card Warrior game. I mean, I'm a little bummed that I couldn't finish it because that's, you know, it's part of Dragon Ball Z. Sort of, kind of. I mean, it's its own separate little thing. So I didn't want to make it part of the game itself. But I would have finished it if it wasn't for the fact that the damn thing kept crashing on me. You know, the 4th time it crashed that last time I was doing it, that was it for me. I was like, that's it. I'm done. I can't deal anymore with a crashy game. You know, what if you're like right at the end and you're just about to win a really difficult match and it crashes on you? That's just, I can't deal with that kind of thing. It's the same reason why we stopped playing Skyrim. Because I had, not that Skyrim is crashy, but I had so many mods on it that it was crashing on me quite a bit. So, hey, we made 80%. Nice. So yeah, you know, I kind of feel what you're saying about new releases. I'm stuck. Why am I stuck? Stop that. I do get it. I myself tend not to mess with new releases too much. And I don't know why. I think I try to wait a little bit of time, even if I have an open slot and I want to play a particular game, because there's a period of time when a game comes out that everyone's playing that game. And I don't want to be up against everyone on the internet. So I let all the streamers do their thing, and when they're done, then I'll go back and play a game. Expedition 33 was like that. That's the game I want to play, but I wasn't going to do it right away because for a while, everyone and their mother was playing that game. And that's fine, but I don't want to have to be up against that. I have enough trouble as it is. So. But I mean, there's something to be said for that, because, something to be said for striking while the iron is hot. That's when people are interested in the game, is right when it comes out. So by waiting, I'm probably hurting myself, but whatever. Like I discussed last week, I don't really care that much. I only care if a video gets like 3 views, and then that's a little bit rough. But otherwise, if it gets 5 or 10 views, that's fine. I don't care that much. It's nice when a video can hit a triple-digit number. That's good for my channel. But I haven't had that happen in a while. The Lego videos get pretty close sometimes. I think. I know they're in double digits for sure. They may not hit triple digits. What's my favorite game I've played of all time? Or on the channel? What's the favorite game I've played of all time on the channel? Oh boy. That's a good question. I gotta say, I really liked Saints Row 2. That's one of my all-time favorite games. Red Dead Redemption 2 is up there somewhere, I would say. That's a fantastic game, but it's super long. So, that's... Super long games are hard to stay into. But I think that one's well worth it. That game is, as far as I am concerned, is a masterpiece. People who say games can't be art, I need to show them a playthrough of Red Dead Redemption and tell me that's not art. That's, there used to be that big debate: are games art or are they not? Well, I think Red Dead Redemption 2 settled that question. Yeah. The GTA games were fine. I guess I only played GTA 5 on my channel, didn't I? It's fine. I don't call it my all-time favorite game, but I liked it. So. The Horizon games were fun. I really liked Horizon Zero Dawn. I liked the story of that game. Whoops. I keep wanting to hit that button. I thought the story was absolutely fantastic for Horizon Zero Dawn. Horizon Forbidden West was just a sequel. It was fine. It's a good game. Don't get me wrong. But it didn't have the impact on me that Horizon Zero Dawn had. And I think that's just because I avoided spoilers in that game, and I did not see the twist coming. I didn't see it coming. What actually happened? What actually? What was it called? The military operation was. I didn't see the reality of that one coming, so it caught me off guard when it dropped. And games rarely do that. I mean, I'm pretty oblivious to a lot of things, but even I can see it coming from a mile away sometimes, right? So. but that one I didn't. What other games did I really enjoy on my channel? Mafia 2. I really like Mafia 2. The Mafia games were a little tricky to edit because I had to edit out the Playboy collectibles. I've had... Oh, look at this. We got a to-do list already. Nice. When it comes to nudity on the channel, I've had it before, primarily with the God of War games. The early God of War games had lots of topless women in them, right? Or women-type monsters, like the Gorgons, which most people call Medusas, which is wrong. Don't call them Medusas. They're not Medusas. They're Gorgons. Medusa is the queen. Like they were topless. The Harpies. You know, lots of the Sisters of Fate, I think, were a lot of the goddesses and stuff. I mean, that game wasn't shy about being a rated M game, right? 2018 was probably a golden year of modern gaming in terms of storytelling. Already 2 God of War, Detroit, A Way Out, Spider-Man. Yeah. Spider-Man was good. I liked Spider-Man. Actually, I liked all 3 of those games. Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and Spider-Man 2. Good games. I enjoyed them. The swinging was good. Spider-Man games kind of make or break on their swinging mechanics, that's, I think. And that one did it right. So, anyway, so as far as nudity goes on the channel, now I think I've seen other people play the God of War games and they edit it out. To me, I mean, if it's a 3D model, I mean, is that really nudity? You know, it's a representation of it. Sure. Would YouTube have a problem with it? I don't know. If they do, well, someday I'll get in trouble for it because I didn't edit any of that stuff out. But when it comes to those pictures from Mafia 2 and Mafia 3, I had to edit that out because those are real women and real pictures. And so that's definitely not allowed. So I had to take that out. So yeah, you know, whatever. I don't see why it would be a problem to have like the God of War style stuff on there. I would argue that it's just a 3D model. These are not women; they're just 3D models. Now, I don't know. I get it. I guess there's a line there somewhere, but I wasn't gonna mess with editing all that stuff out. I don't think it's necessary. But YouTube might disagree with me. So someday they might come back and say, hey, you can't put that on your channel. And then I'll have to go back and take them all down or hide them, which would be a bummer. But yeah, I've seen people edit those out, those scenes. Or not edit them out, but blur them. You know what I mean? So yeah. So Red Dead Redemption 2, God of War, Detroit. Detroit Become Human is a game I've always kind of wanted to play. What kind of shies me away from it is that it's so, like, there's a billion different endings, right? And those kind of games, they go against my completionist nature. Right, I want to see all the endings, and that's hard to do on a game like that. That's the only reason I've never played it, I think. Not that I wouldn't play it. It's one that, like I said, I've always wanted to kind of do, but... I'd always feel like I'm missing something, you know? That's one of those things where you just gotta let it go and just get the ending that you get and just say, that's okay, that we're good there. I have a hard time with that. That's not me. What other games like that? There's another game like that. I'm thinking Dead Space, but that's not Dead Space. It's Mass Effect. Mass Effect is like that too, right? Where you have multiple endings. We play GTA 6 on your channel. I think so, yeah. I'm almost certain I will. I would like to go back and play the GTA games, which I have not played on my channel. So starting from GTA 3, because GTA 1 and 2 are not... I've played GTA 1 and 2. They're not really worth watching. They're just arcade games. I would love to do those on my channel at some point or another. I know Tag did them. And I try to stay away from games that he's done. But those games are so iconic that... I mean, there's certain games that you just have to do. And GTA series is kind of one of those. Yeah, so. Just the collectibles take multiple playthroughs because some of them change depending on your previous choices. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, they're fine. They're just, you know, they're arcade games. They are basically, I mean, you could drop those games right into an arcade, you know, put a coin slot on them, and they'd be fine. There's nothing really to see there, really. I think there's some kind of story to it, but there's not much. So you start with GTA 3 and work your way up from there. I'd love to do those games. I think I have them on my list, in fact, but they're not imminent at any point. But yeah, GTA 6 I will do. I'm sure I will do at some point. I hate to do them out of order, but since we already did GTA 5, it doesn't really matter. But then I have to do that mission where all you have to do is follow the damn train, CJ. Just sucks you can't get the originals anymore legally, only the defective editions. PS2 Trilogy is like $3 to $4. Oh, nice. Nice. Of GTA, is that what you're talking about, Evra? I have played all the GTA games. I've played them all, and I think I've even 100%ed them all. Yeah, GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas. Yeah, cool. You know, that was back before I had a channel. Otherwise, I would have done it on my channel, but I have played them. To 100%. I think I went through a phase where I just played them back to back. Oh, this is going to be difficult. That's right, I did have a GameFAQs guide for... Yeah, you're right. Oh my god, I haven't thought about those in years. I did a GameFAQs guide for... I think I went... One of the Saints Rows. Fable. I did a GameFAQs guide for Fable. San Andreas. There's something else. Maybe there were two GTA... not GTA, but Saints Row games that I did guides for. I can't remember. For a while, I was into doing those. That ended, basically, when... I think after I did... whatever the last one I did was, I was like, I'm done. The age of text guides, I think, is coming, or was coming to an end. Not that they're not still useful sometimes. Sometimes I'll still go to the text guides. now and again, but I think I'm fairly unique in that when I'm looking for specific things and I don't want spoilers. I guess that's not super unique. I guess other people would do that too, but I don't know. I feel like GameFAQs is not what it used to be. It's not the powerhouse it once was. I did the I did the map for Gat Out of Hell for GameFAQs, and I did it and I submitted it and it got rejected for being too big. They said it was too large, which, you know, they have to think about disk space, right? So that's reasonable. So I shrunk it down and resubmitted it. And then, you know how they have comments on those? I got a comment saying, "Not useful, too small." Like a user comment. And I'm like, dude, it's not my fault. I tried to make it bigger. They rejected it. I didn't say it. I mean, I didn't respond to it or anything, but I feel like that was not my fault. Okay, we got some gutters. I thought it was ironic that, yeah, this gutter needs to be done. Somebody commented that I had made it too small and they couldn't see what they were trying to find, and which I totally agree. It was too small, but that was a GameFAQs thing. That wasn't me. Okay, this gutter. And we got one more, probably up front. So this one was done. Oh, this one. Yeah. Yeah. The only reason I did that map was because I scoured the internet looking for somebody who had done it, and nobody had. So I did it. I think Tag and I ran around and found them all. We got stuck on like the last one or two, and just had a hell of a time finding. I think we finally ended up finding them, but posts times 4. So I could, these are downstairs, right? Posts. These things, okay. Okay, post. What's your deal? There you go. And this one. There's 2. Yes, but there's no fall damage. I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So I could fall off. No problem. Nothing there. Must be on this side. Yeah, I bet you it is. Okay, let's move this. You move someplace else. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we got one more post somewhere. You're done. You're done. You. Okay. So you have chosen the way of death. Job complete. Woohoo! Now we get to watch. Look at that. Very nice. 550 bucks. The bungalow looks amazing, Doc. Thank you. You won't believe the impact it's had. Ma's down in the woods picking flowers, and Pops is muttering excitedly about another job he's got for you. So if you hear from Leonard Miller, that'll be him. So we go to details. Very nice. And messages. So we've got all these. Okay, let's go to the shop. See what we got. Should we get some new... We should probably get some... Let's look at our power washers. We could buy the Urban X U2. Can't buy this one. It requires 40 stars, but we do have enough stars for this one for 900 bucks. So what's the difference? Ah, okay. Let's buy it. Now we're down to $160. Okay. Let's see. I don't want to... Let's go back. No, we're not. Let's go back to the shop. There we go. Equipment. Anything else I want to get? Should we get the short extension? We'll buy the short extension. I haven't used the extensions. I should probably use those. And should we get a soap nozzle? We should get a soap nozzle, just in case I need to use soap. Let's go ahead and get a soap nozzle. And then maybe we'll even get some soap. How much does soap cost? Glass cleaner, metal cleaner, plastic cleaner, stone, multi-purpose, and wood. I think glass would be good. And multi-purpose. We'll get a couple of those. All right, that seems pretty good. We're down to our last 40 bucks. So, cool. Look at that. Job well done. Okay, let's go back to our career. So next we're going to be doing clean the playground. So we'll do that next time. Let me see. Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, I think I'm going to call it. We've been going for a little bit. Where's my counter again? I always misplace this thing. It's around here somewhere. It's been a couple of hours. So we're good. So yeah, I'll call it here. I think we'll, if you guys want to drop in next week, we'll do it again next week. If you don't, that's fine. I mean, no pressure, no, no obligation, but I have fun chatting with y'all. So take care, cowboy. We'll go watch football. we'll see you later. See ya, Evra. I will talk to you later. So yeah, guys, we'll do this again next week. I'm fine with it. It's easy enough to do, and I don't have to edit anything. It just goes up to YouTube as it is, and it's fine. It's fine. So I have no problem doing it again if you guys want to see more. And yeah, and again, if you guys are coming into this late and you're just watching on YouTube, if you have questions and stuff, feel free to post them in the description below, or the comments below, and I will answer them next week when we get back to it. Yep. Hey, anyone. All right, you guys. Thanks a lot for coming. I will see y'all next week. Take care.